The maze of life comes with its own challenges, twists, turns, but when you find someone to share it with, it's simply beautiful.
Travis just makes me wake up, and I'll probably end up crying, makes me wake up each day wanting to be the best possible version of myself for him.
He's beyond perfect, I guess, for me.
Travis Drexler and Allie Randall met exactly 1 year ago at her brother's party.
We grew up 3 miles apart, never knew each other, and my mother found Travis at the party and walked up to him and said, "Are you single?"
I was like, okay, I'm up for that. I don't even know why I was so caught up on her from day one, but it was just like, I spent 4 months trying to get that first date, and then from there it was just like, boom, it clicked.
Within 2 weeks, I told my mom the biggest thank you I've ever given her in my life, because that was the man I'm going to marry someday.
Travis says he knew he wanted to spend the rest of his life with Allie back in January.
I got thinking about her and the corn maze and said, well, why don't we just do Allie, will you marry me? I lost sleep over it. And because, you know, then what if I forget a letter? Like, Allie, will you mar me? Like, whoa, no. That'd be a little weird.
Travis had the entire maze mapped out on graph paper using the rows of corn as a guide. He, of course, didn't forget a letter. And when he showed her this drone picture, she, of course, said yes.
I think I had to read it about 5 or 6 times before I realized, holy cow, I'm the Allie that's in that picture.
She did one of those things where she covers her mouth and one of those things.
Oh, it was instant tears. It was a combination between laughing and eventually crying. And then I thought, well, gee, I probably should answer his question and not leave him hanging.
They will soon take on the maze of life together as husband and wife. And it all started with a maze of their own. Kind of corny, right? Allie and Travis have not set a wedding date yet, but if you want to get lost in this maze, you'll be able to this fall. And you have a little bit of a cheat sheet to help you get started. Andrew?
Clark was more than a trooper. To many, he was known for his superb athleticism. He played football for Alfred University and was even invited to try out for the Bills.
While playing college football, News Channel 9's Mario Sacco had the chance to watch Clark lead AU to great success. Off the field is where Mario and the rest of the community will remember Nick the most.
New at 11, Mario and Nick's former head coach, David Murray, sat down with News Channel 9's Olivia Ugino.
I've been really blessed and really lucky. Really, it just comes down to somebody giving you a chance.
Hey, Mario.
Let's go back in time, Coach.
He didn't look like much when he first walked in. He could play. He's one of the best players I've ever coached, one of the best players I've ever seen in Division III.
Nearly 400 tackles and 26 touchdowns.
2010, I went down to Alfred. Their football team was steadily growing to become a national power.
You're living every guy's dream right now. I mean, to be able to just eat, sleep, and train and, you know, football all the time is just, it's been great.
You interview a lot of players, obviously. Did he stand out to you at all?
When you spoke to him, it's a guy that commanded the audience when you spoke to him. He looked you straight in the eye, gave you an honest answer, and you knew that this is a guy that people respected.
When Nick was around, everything was going to be okay. He felt that way as a coach when he was a player, and I know his teammates felt that way. We just all felt he was this invincible guy, that nothing could ever happen to him. You just never thought I'd ever get that phone call.
And I imagine today you've heard from a lot of your former players, his former teammates. What have they've been saying? Shocked.
Just flat out shocked. You know, if you want one person next to you, and when it comes time to compete in anything, Nick Clark was that guy.
That's the look that I remember. I remember that face paint on him, you know, scoring a touchdown, everyone loving him, and that's the memory that I want people to remember.
Really, it just comes down to somebody giving you a chance.
Olivia Ugino, News Channel 9. The things that capture our hearts, we can't always explain. The love for our friends, the love for our family, the love bug.
Probably the part where he gets cut in half.
Jack Connolly was bit by the love bug when he was only 3.
Herbie has character, and I like that.
Probably around age 5, 6, 7, he needed a beetle at some point in his life.
And some will do anything for love.
I've been saving for like my whole life, from my birthday, from Christmas, from Easter, and putting it into a bank account, and then I just had enough money to buy this. Just enough.
So with a price tag of $2,800, this 11-year-old became the proud owner of a '68 VW Beetle.
My one friend, he's just like shocked that I have a car at 11 years old. This is like the perfect car because I've always thought I could afford it. It's slow, and it's just not like a box car that I see.
But transforming this into the lovable Herbie took some work.
Many hours! I mean, I haven't been working on it by myself. My dad and I have been working on it. Day in, day out.
Alright, Jack.
Well, my favorite part about this was probably painting this and putting on the stripes and stickers, because I thought I'm bringing Herbie to life.
To life and fully loaded. Olivia Ugino, News Channel 9. Whether morning or night,
this is the stuff that people throw away.
Jim Boyd can be found surrounded by his projects.
I've been a carpenter all my life. I decided at one point I just wanted to start, doing the finer things.
He does spend a lot of time in his shop, but that keeps him happy, and sometimes he's out of my hair.
Wine racks, chalkboards, birdhouses.
Counters, urns, you name it.
The fact that I can make something with my own hands and have it come out the way it does, it's very enjoyable for me to do that.
So when Jim and his wife Nancy knew the beautiful pine in front of their home needed to come down, they weren't stumped for long.
They call them gnome houses or hobbit houses.
But I don't like gnomes, I like fairies, so we ended up doing the fairy house.
Affixed with a swing and a front door that could make any neighbor jealous.
I started out by just putting a roof on it, whatever angle was there. I didn't care if it was symmetrical or not. And I just finished it off like that. Then after that, I just started adding things to make it look something like whimsical, so it wasn't all perfect. I didn't care if it was up to scale or not, but I just wanted to make it look like a little house.
Just the colors, and it looks so real. It looks like you ought to be able to open it and walk right in.
And soon, more fairy-sized neighbors might be moving in.
There may be a couple people in the neighborhood that want one done, So I told them, I said, well, you let me know what the tree you got, and I'll get you started on it.
In Phoenix, Olivia Ugino, News Channel 9.